Hey, man. What you doing?
Nothing. Just writing a letter to my sister.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I haven't seen her in years. It's weird because...
What you say? That you only meant well, 'cause you did. What you say? That it's all for the best, 'cause it is. What you say? That it's just what we need, and you decided this. What you say? What did she say? What you say? That you only meant well, 'cause you did. What you say? That it's all for the best, 'cause it is. What you say? That it's just what we need, and you decided this. What you say? What did she say?
Guys, I just thought of the funniest thing.
What you say? That you only meant well, 'cause you did. What you say? That it's all for the best, 'cause it is. What you say? That it's just what we need, and you decided this. What you say?
Dear sister, by the time you read this...
What you say? That you only meant. What you say? 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 That you only meant
Got ourselves a bloodbath.
Hey Sarge, listen to this. Dear sister, by the time you read this, I'll be dead. This is how I think it's gonna happen. Dave will shoot me, then I'll shoot Dave, then Eric will enter and get shot by Dave. Then you'll come in and get shot by Eric, Dave, and I multiple times. Love, your brother Keith. P.S. Then 2 cops will read this letter and shoot each other. Now, isn't that the most ridiculous thing you...
what you say?
Excuse me, what the actual fuck are you doing on my—
I own a P90 for home defense, since that's what the site administrator intended. 4D class break out of their cells. What are you, stupid or something? As I grab my P90 and put down my pizza. Mag dumped the first P class. He's dead on the spot. Draw my USP-45 on the second man, and miss him entirely because of poor weapon maintenance and nail some poor janitor. I have to resort to the RPG-7 mounted on the wall loaded with fragmentation. Alright, you know what? Fine. Be that way. Catches 2D class in the blast and sets off the facility alarms. I charge the last one. The medics didn't have a chance.
fault he ran right in front of my truck.
Did I ever tell you what the definition of insanity is? Insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again, expecting shit to change. That is crazy.
Box, come to my hand.
Все, пора всплывать, Марбок, к людям, отпуск закончился. Ой, бля, Грена! Какой, блядь, да удержи!
Force Unit Epsilon 11, designated Nine-Tailed Fox, has entered the facility. All remaining survivors are advised to stay in the evacuation shelter or any other safe area until the unit has secured the facility. The start escorting personnel out, and the escaped SCPs have been recontained.
Alan, we are so fucked.
Why?